He's the Professor of Emergent Infectious Diseases at Oxford University's Sir Peter Horby. He's warned, based on data from the Southern Hemisphere, that this season's flu outbreak could come earlier and bigger than you. And then you have a twindemic with COVID-19 that could put pressure on the NHS. This, by the way, comes as total UK COVID cases this week fell to their lowest level in a year, according to the Office of National Statistics. So here now to deliver some much-needed common sense on the situation is Man of the People and former Coronation Street actor Charlie Lawson. Charlie, I have to say, I am so sick of the constant media scaremongering. It's almost like they realise we're not scared now about COVID, so now they have to talk about a twindemic. We've got to call this stuff out, don't we, Charlie?
Yeah, and the Daily Mirror ought to bloody wise up, you know what I mean? They ought to know a wee bit better by now. But listen, over the last few months, Dan, as you'll be aware, people have started coming out of the woodwork and saying, look, this was a complete balls up. Lockdowns, we're hearing more and more statistics now about the damage it did to human beings, the school shutting and all the rest of it. It was a complete lot of bullshit, all the things we lapped up. I mean, I won't even go down the road, but I was talking to your producer, Lucy, this morning on the phone. Yes. And she was reminding me of the footprints on the pavement to show you where to walk. And what in the name of God are we thinking of? But I have to say, Dan, I think the great British public, as I said they would, have woken up and will not accept this crap this winter. And I think the Daily Mirror are making idiots of themselves. And I think they're going to get found out because we all know the weaknesses of the NHS, and the NHS is always under pressure, and that's to do with management, nothing to do with the ground staff, so to speak. I think we'll just say on your bikes, and the behavioural scientists will appear again. I've no doubt. I don't think we'll see the slides anymore. But look, let's all wise up, folks, and kick on. Let's get on with life, for goodness sake.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned those footprints, Charlie, because for me, the one that I'll never be able to get my head around is when I was in a nightclub. I don't go to them often, Charlie, but I was in a nightclub, and they had traffic lights positioned at various different points around the nightclub, so you had to walk in a particular direction. We're all in a nightclub together. It was ludicrous, and it was performative. But, Charlie, I hear that actually you were targeted at one point by the police who were tracking your COVID movements at the height of this madness.
Listen, we came back from Mallorca, and all the flights that week from Mallorca, everybody was grounded, so to speak. Everybody was pinged by this ridiculous bloody thing. And so I phoned up, or this woman phoned me up, God bless her, and I said, listen, darling, I know you're sitting in a big warehouse with 1,000 other people and a questionnaire in front of you, so do you want me to lie to you? And she said, sorry? I says, well, will it make your day easier if I lie to you? And she said, oh, no, you have to answer. She said, are you self-isolating? I says, no, I'm not. She said, oh, no, but you can't do that. I says, no, I'm not, darling. I said, do you get my point? Is it easier if I lie to you? And she said, no, yeah. And then, I got Vivaldi for a minute then. And then she came back on. She said, I've spoken to my supervisor and you have to tell the truth. I says, well, I'm in Ashton Tires getting a new spare tire. And then I'm taking Seamus the dog for a walk. And I'm going to the co-op to get some breakfast. So the answer is no. I said, so you see, if I'd lied, you'd have had a better day. Anyway, the following day, there was a knock on the door, and there was these two Polish there, you know what I mean? They said, yeah, blah, blah, you're not isolating. And I said, I'll tell you what. I said, just stand there for a minute. I said, do you want to come in and have a cup of tea? They said, oh, no. I said, well, just hide your horses there and let me phone up a journalist, and then you can arrest me. I said, because that would be brilliant. And I said, they went, because I said, this is complete nonsense. Have you not got anything better to do? But, Dan, we went to the pub and we had to have a frigging sausage roll before we could have a gin and tonic. I mean, stand up, your granny's dead, sit down, she's fine. I mean, it was just complete shite. Excuse me, but you know what I get, like, you know,
it was just no, it was, Charlie, and I think that's why actually it's so important that we call out this scaremongering, because if we're not careful, what the health establishment will do, and they use the newspapers like the Mirror, who've gone all in on this for some reason. If we're not careful, what they'll do is terrify people again, and this will just become so normal that we expect to have our freedoms curtailed every winter, and I'm not going to stand for it, and I know you're not going to stand for it.
No, and I mean, we have to be so careful because you're right. An awful lot of people in this country, fine country of ours, allowed themselves to be bullied at 10 to 5 every day by Witty Valance and all the rest of the clowns. And Michi, Suzette, what was her name? Mickey or Michi,
Mickey.
whatever.
The communist,
Mickey,
the communist one, who's now at the World Health Organization. Yeah.
And so we lapped up all this crap, and now we've grabbed hold of our nuts and we've looked in the mirror and said, how stupid were we? Now, I hasten to add, I wasn't. I did my own research and carried on life as normal, as much as my village did as well. But we have to be so careful because we have just come out of that state of fear that you and I have talked about before, when the great British public were hoodwinked into living in terror, and we cannot go back there. And thank the Lord for my colleague Denise Welsh and Johnny Bowe and the rest of the folk and myself who've always spoken out against this, and some notable broadcasters like yourself. And let's not go back, folks. In the name of Jesus, let's not go back.